Hey there, Tall Man Clan. Welcome back. Today, it's the end of our time in Athens. So this is the Athens wrap-up. All right, so today is the end of day 6. We have spent 6 absolute amazing days here in Athens. This has been, I got to tell you, probably the most favorite place that we've ever spent time in. I mean, we spent time in Rome and Florence. Florence is amazing. We love it. We can't wait to go back. But we didn't get to spend too much time in any of those locations. Here, we've taken the city in for 6 full days. In fact, as we were driving around a little bit today, I'm learning some of the roads and knowing where we're at, which was kind of interesting. Our guy was like, wow, you figured out where to be. So we have had just a tremendous time here. The apartment we're in with this view, we'll do a video on that for you. So if you want to book this place, you can. And so, with any of this stuff, whether it's our guy or the hotel, we have no financial gain if you come to this apartment, or you use our guy. Again, his name's Fotis. We're passing that on. But we'll talk about that later. As far as Athens go, we've only been able to bring you, believe it or not, a small little bit of what we've done. Most of it is because we are on the top of our apartment building, which I think is like on the 6th level. The Wi-Fi is for our apartment. It doesn't get all the way to the roof. And we couldn't, in good conscience, stream from in the apartment when this is the view from the top of the apartment. So we've had to record the show and load it up. And so we haven't been able to bring you every single day. On top of that, we've had some 12 to 16 hour days. And so, and videoing hours and hours and hours of content. And so we have to have enough time to get some of that video hours down to 5-6 minutes to bring you highlights. And so we just haven't had enough time. But we wanted to do a wrap-up video because we've seen so much. And so at least if you hire the right person, again, like a Fotis, a guide to help you, you can accomplish in a week. Honestly, 1 day less than a week, 6 days, okay? We started off when we got picked up. On day 1, we spent the day doing some of the stuff here in Athens. We saw the Temple of Zeus and surrounding areas, as well as we went there, the Acropolis, right, and the Parthenon and all that stuff. Now, mind you, there's so much more that you can do, but after traveling, we spent 5 hours doing all of that. So we were tired, and we called it the end of that day. So we got into the apartment, took a nap, got up, then went back out for another 4 hours, videoing the Acropolis at night. We will bring you that video. It's breathtaking. It really is. The nighttime views of the Acropolis are just the best. Okay. On day 2, which we did bring you, we went to Delphi. Now, Delphi is 2.5 hours away in good traffic. Okay. So 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back. So 5 hours of your day are just transportation, getting to and from. Never mind the time that you're going to spend at the site and the museum and all the surrounding areas. Okay. So you definitely need to plan. So that was day 2. That was one of the longer days. Day 3 was even longer, and we're sorry we didn't get to bring it to you in the highlights. But day 3, the main goal was to get to Olympia. Now, Olympia is 3-ish hours away. Okay. Remember, there are main highways, but eventually you have to get off in their small, turny little. It just takes some time. I think it's like 240 kilometers, but driving time, it was 3-ish hours. So you have, again, 6 hours worth of travel there and back. But it's not about just getting to Olympia. Along the way, we stopped in Corinth, and we saw the Corinth Canal. If you've never seen the Corinth Canal, that is a really cool thing. It's a really skinny canal with sheer cliff walls. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's when you see the ships in here, you're like, how does that go in there? It's not like the Panama Canal or the Suez Canal. It's completely different. And it connects the Aegean Sea and the Ionian Sea, the Corinth Canal. So we stopped there. We were intended to get on a ship and go through it. However, it's closed for maintenance for, unfortunately, like another week. We're off by a week. We seem to be off by a week everywhere we go.
Always off by a week.
We were off getting to London for the coronation by a week, 5 days. What else were we off?
The Queen's funeral.
The Queen's funeral.
Yeah.
Last year we were off a week by that. Anyway, we're off by a week. So after we did the Corinth Canal, we went to ancient Corinth, which is another historic ancient site. The Apostle Paul, if you're a religious person, he had a church there. We stood right where the Apostle Paul preached from. We did that on that day. And then we stopped off at just a beach. We didn't go swimming, but we just stopped off there and took in some stuff. And then we got to Olympia. Okay? Unfortunately, when we got to Olympia, it was raining. Now, Olympia has a couple of museums, and then plus the site itself. So fortunately, we went into the museums first. Normally you would do that last. You go outside, get all the stuff done outside, then you can go inside into the air conditioning. We did it flip-flopped. But we were able to see it all because by the time we were done with the museums, the rain had stopped. And so we were able to get out. We had limited time because it got late in the day. And these sites close anywhere between 8 and 9, depending on what site you're at, and that's PM. Okay, and so we did have to hurry through, probably a little faster than we normally would like to, but we did get to see it all. We will do a prepared video for you. It won't be like a highlight, but we will show you that. And then, of course, the 3-hour drive home. So we didn't get home that night until it
11:30.
Was yeah, it was a long day. We left at 7:30, 8 in the morning. So it was a long day. Yeah. Okay. So then on Thursday, we had a bit of a lighter day, which was day 5. We decided we couldn't, this is our first time in the Mediterranean. We couldn't come here and not go to a beach. So, Wednesday. Sorry, I missed Wednesday. See, it's just, there's drinking from a fire hose, guys. I'm so sorry. Wednesday, we stayed in Athens proper, and we did the museums. We went to the museum of the Acropolis, which is 5-minute walk from our apartment. So we
cool.
We didn't see our guy. We just walked right there. And we spent quite a bit of time there. Mm-hmm. Please note, if you're going to go to the Museum of the Acropolis, you're like us, we've got our gimbal and stuff. You can only hold your phone. You can't have any other devices. You can only hold your phone.
And no backpacks either.
No backpacks. You got to check them in.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can only hold your phone. Additionally, there's some areas of the museum you cannot video in.
Yes.
I don't know why. It didn't seem like it was...
It wasn't marked. Some areas you can video in, some areas you can't. And there was no... I didn't see any signs that said, no photos or videos in this area.
You have to look for them. There was a couple we found after somebody said something to us, but anyway, we stopped videoing. We're not trying to break the rules here. You know us. A little bit. I took my gimbal out in the Acropolis 3 times, and they told me to put it away 3 times. That's the 3rd time I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get away with it. So I put it away, and we were done with it. But again, just know going in, you can't do that. So after that, we decided to go to the Archaeological Museum here in Athens. It's a little bit further away, and with our guy, again, his name's Fotis, it's not in the best of areas, so he wanted to drive us. So he came and picked us up, and he took us there. Yeah. And so we went through there. What's amazing about that, now, a lot of the places, there is no audio. So you're sort of on your own. However, we learned, through our visit here, and so we're passing it on to you. There are lots of audio guides on the internet. We downloaded for the Archaeological Museum an audio guide, a guide from Rick Steves. If you guys travel a lot, Rick Steves, a historic guy in and himself. It was free, and it was about an hour long, and it took you through the museum. It doesn't cover every piece in there, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it gives you an understanding of what
you're
it is
looking
that you're
at.
looking at.
And what was amazing about that particular museum, it starts sort of at the beginning of Greek history and takes you through. And that's how the museum is kind of laid out. It's a strange path. It helps guide you through there, but it takes you through the history of Greek, not just history, but the art and how it progressed and how it changed through their advancements. Okay. One of the coolest things that happened in there, and I'll share with you, back behind us, the Acropolis, one of the main features back in the day was a statue of Athena, which was 40 feet tall. It is long gone, but because it was such a huge and impressive thing, replicas have been made of it, of course, much smaller, through time. The most popular one, I think, is I forget how tall it is, but it's in that archaeological museum. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, it's kind of tucked around a couple of corners in the back. It's behind several ropes. You can't get close to it. It's kind of that valuable, okay? As we're standing there, and we stood there for a while, kind of taking it in and videoing it and different things, because in that one, I could have my gimbal, so we're videoing. And one of the security guards, I guess, saw us. And again, it's around a corner. This was a busy museum, but there was nobody there for the 5 minutes we stood there. This guy walked over, and he didn't say anything. He just opened up the rope and looked at us and went, gave us the nod to go in. We looked at one and we're like, let's go. So we got right up to the statue of Athena and was able to video it. Okay. I don't know if that's a big thing for you. I could tell you it was a big thing for us. Okay. Anyway, so back coming up from around the corner, you get on the path. So if you're doing any of these things, spend some time ahead of time. Find these audio guides. It's going to make your visit to some of these places much more memorable because it helps you know what you're actually looking at and the historical reasons behind some of these things, as opposed to just going, man, that's a big stone structure. Man, man, that's a lot of carving. You know what I mean? Right? Anyway, so after that, we had some food and back. So that was a lighter day, but it still was 9 o'clock before we got back. It was a smaller day. We didn't drive 3 hours and 3 hours back, but still not bad.
A full day.
Yeah. Okay. Then day 5, excuse me, which for us was a Thursday. And I'm sorry, I'm drinking this Greek Coke, Lycos. It tastes just like, if you're a Coca-Cola fan, right? I've got a backup ready to go. If you're a regular Coca-Cola, it tastes just like Coke. It's really good.
Yeah, it is.
And you come here, got to drink the local drink. Speaking of local drink, we had some orzo and we had it mixed with a little orange juice this morning.
Orzo?
Orzo? The liquor.
Okay.
Isn't that what it is?
Uzo?
Uzo? Uzo. God, sorry. I had too much orzo. Uzo. That was pretty good.
With a little bit of orange juice. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. I got a little buzz. we don't drink, so that was like, woo! Anyway, okay, so Thursday, as I was beginning to say a few minutes ago, as I got out of... Squirrel! Out of schedule is what I got out of, was we've never been to the Mediterranean, so we weren't going to come here and not get in the Mediterranean. And so we wanted to go to the beach, but we also wanted to go see the Temple of Poseidon, right, as one of the things that we had asked Fotis to schedule. So we met a little bit later in the day, and so I had the daytime to actually prepare some of the videos that you've seen from here, and we went off to the beach. And so, but he took the coastline, so we rode up to the beach and into the Temple of Poseidon all along the coast of Greece, mainland Greece. just, again,
beautiful beaches. They're all so different from each other. Just beautiful.
Which is another thing. If you come here, just 20, 30 minutes outside of Athens are amazing public beaches.
Yeah.
They were empty.
Yeah.
It was great. It just, you don't have to go into the tourist areas. And this is the benefit of somebody like a Fotis. And again, I'll do a complete video on him. But he knows all these places. We probably stopped at 20 different little beaches on the way up there just to get good photo. And one of them we decided to stop, and we stayed there and went swimming. Again, we'll bring you that fun.
Yeah.
Swimming. Anyway, we end up at the Temple of Poseidon. And if you do the Temple of Poseidon, if you're working with the right person, you got to be there at sunset. Okay, Temple of Poseidon is out on a point, and you're all but surrounded by water, and the sun goes down. We got a time-lapse video. We will bring it to you in another. It's just, we don't have time. We're leaving tomorrow. We're getting on it. Literally, we're leaving for the airport in like 4.5 hours. We're up here tonight recording this as our goodbye to Athens, right? So we'll show you that later, but it just, again, breathtaking. So, but we were there. That site closes at sunset. Sunset was 8:36. Not 8:35, not 8:37. At 8:36, they started blowing the whistle and cleared the site. Okay. The Temple of Poseidon, I think, is about 70 kilometers outside of Athens. It's not horribly far. But again, we took the curvy...
The scenic route.
Scenic route.
Yeah.
So it was an hour-and-a-half drive. So again, that night we didn't get back till 10 o'clock.
Well, we stayed till sunset, so...
We did, yeah. So maybe a little bit after 10. Yeah, 10:30. So anyway, so that was Thursday. Today, our sort of wrap-up day. There were a few things here in town that we didn't get to see. The Gate of Hadrian, oddly enough, is one of those things we wanted to see. It's part of the Temple of Zeus, but it's outside the Temple of Zeus. You don't have to pay to see the gate. It's right on the road. It's right there. You don't drive through it. But it was on the backside. And we've driven by it 27 times. But anyway, so we stopped there to get some good video of Hadrian's Gate because it's something that we wanted to do. We also, and you could see some of it in the video, the highlight video that we did of the Acropolis. We took nighttime shots of the Agora here in town, which is sort of the base of the Acropolis. But we didn't get inside. We're like, we got to go inside because the Agora is one of the longest buildings.
Oh, it is so long.
The Stoa, not the Agora, the Stoa.
Yes.
It's been completely rebuilt. And when you go in, you can tell. It's not old. You can see some of the older parts, but it's been completely rebuilt. And inside of that is a museum. And so we went there today. We also, on that site is the Temple of Hephaestus, forgive the pronunciation, which is one of the temples that has not been restored, but is nearly complete.
Intact.
It's very intact.
Yeah.
So we want, and it's not tiny either.
No.
It's not, the size of that, the Pantheon, but
it gives you a glimpse of what the other temples, how they would have been constructed.
Yeah. So we saw that.
Yeah.
And then of course we did a little shopping, little farewell dinner, right? Our last supper with Fotis, our guy, again, his name's Fotis. And, we came back here, we had to start packing and again, putting together some more videos for you guys. Now we're up here saying goodbye. And so it's a bittersweet end for us. Again, 6 days. It's been an absolute magical time. And our adventure's not over, guys. It's not over. We still have a couple days in Barcelona. We have a 15-day cruise back to the United States that starts from Barcelona on the brand new Carnival of Venezia, right? The channel is called Cruise Adventures. We've had 6 days of adventures here in Greece and a couple of days in Barcelona coming up, but it's time to get back on the ocean and get back to seeing a brand new ship. Of course, it's not a brand new ship. It's a brand new
to Carnival.
Yeah. It used to be a Costa. when it was originally built, I think in 2016. But they have decided to absorb it into the Carnival brand, completely refurbish the inside. It's been in dry dock now since, I guess, November, or dry dock and refurbishment. And so its maiden voyage is in a few days, and so we're going to be on that. So our adventures haven't come to an end, just our time here in Athens. So if you have been following us and watching us along the way, we so do appreciate you guys. We really do. We really do love you all, and thank you for your support. If this is the first time that you're seeing us, you know what to do, right? Subscribe. Become part of the Tall Men Clan. It costs you nothing. But it really helps out the channel, and we really do appreciate it. And we'll bring you some more of the adventures, okay? So until we see you all again, Barcelona.
Here we come.
Here we come.
And a fond farewell to Athens.
And a far farewell to Athens. Bravo.